Hi everyone, it's Adam 7 Fish Tanks, and in today's video we're going to be setting up the biggest tank I've ever set up yet. This is the Fluval Roma 125, and I'm really excited to crack on with this scape, honestly. With it being the biggest tank I've worked with, it's going to be a challenge, but I can't wait to take you along with this journey, so let's get into this. Right, so what we're going to start with is this Tropica substrate. This being the first layer in the tank, we're going to cap this off with some sand, as this is very nutrient dense, so we're going to make sure that there's only a thin layer of this underneath the sand. This lasts a really long time too, so it's going to be great for our plants to grow the roots and make sure that there's some healthy plants in our tank. So as I was saying previously, only a fine layer of this across the tank. Just enough to cover the bottom. I think I'm going to add a little bit more to this as it's not fully covering the bottom of the tank. Just a tad bit more. And we're just going to pat this across again gently. Make sure that it covers the entire bottom. I've got a good idea on where I'm going to be putting most of the plants, but it's always useful to make sure that the nutrients are spread across the tank in case any plants want to carpet or fill in. Right, so as you can see, we've covered the bottom layer of the tank with the soil, and I'm going to be topping it off with some sand next. The cool thing about the Roma is this thick black bar on the bottom of the tank, and that'll be covering that soil part of the substrate. So we're only going to be seeing sand visible to our eyes. Right, let's continue building that slope that I was talking about. Building it right the way up. And just brushing a gentle layer down, right the way up. And the layer down again. We're just trying to get that effect that I'm hoping for. I did play around in the Scaper Dojo in the shop, and got a brief idea on how I want this scape to look. So we're now going to start aquascaping the tank with some wood and rocks. Aquascaping for me can be a really therapeutic thing, but it can also be one of the most stressful things too, because you know, once you've set up your tank, there's quite a difficulty in rearranging it or changing it about. So it's what comes natural to you first. So I think what we're going for is some kind of like spiky open piece of wood with some rocks around it. I'm going to try and layer it in a way that keeps every piece of wood up. Yeah, that's looking all right. Open to have the most character to it. I mean, looking at it from this way, it's quite nice, but there's a lot of open space here. So maybe I can make up for that with the rocks. We'll give that a go and see if that works. Right, so we've opted for some Serenity stone. There's a lot of texture and layers to this. Let's see if we can make this work and make it look like the wood's kind of got lodged in between some rocks on its way, as it is driftwood. Like it's kind of come down a river. Seem to work there. Maybe up here that works. I feel like it works further up there. It's quite a large rock. I guess that kind of looks good. It's got a bit of character to it. Maybe needs a bit more layering to it, if possible. Lift that up a bit, tuck that underneath. Yeah, that kind of works. It's just about finding the right amount. I've got some smaller rocks as well that might do the job as well. Drop these in and just scatter them about. I think looking at this, I want to level out the sand now. Maybe add some more rocks and bring one that's larger forward. I just think it'll have a bigger impact. Here we are with the finished hardscape. I'm really happy with the rock structure, the way the wood is laid out, and how the sand looks, giving it that depth. I thought it needed a little change after taking a step back earlier on and realising that it just didn't look right with that hill that I was going for. It made the aquarium look smaller than it actually is. So this is part 1 of the aquascape build. There will be 2 and 3 coming out soon. So make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, and tune in for the future parts of this aquascape build. Until next time, thanks for watching. See you later. Peace. Hi everyone, it's Adam 7 Fish Tanks, and in today's video we're going to be planting this aquascape. As you can see, there's been a little bit of fine tweaking. I've got my friend here, Joe, today. I'm going to be adding his Instagram in the description below. And basically we are going to be bleach dipping some of these plants, as he's been very kind today to donate a couple of these plants for the escape today. And I'll be showing you how to do that, so let's get into this. Right, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting 1 part of bleach for every 19 parts of water, and then we'll dip it in double dosage of dechlorinator for the amount that is in this tub right here. Right, so what we're using today is some 89p corner shop bleach. You can use any kind of bleach as long as it does the job. And what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be mixing the bleach into this bucket here. Once we do that, we'll then dip the plants into here, into this double dosed dechlorinated water. Make sure you give it a good stir around till it's fully in. I can smell that now. Put that off to the side. Just putting all these plants into here for 2 minutes, and then we'll put it into the double dosed dechlorinated water afterwards. Now we're just going to double dose this. Give that a stir around as well. And we're now going to put a timer on for 2 minutes, and once that's done, we'll add these into here. The main reason we're doing this is in case there's any algae that's attached to these plants, and the bleach dip does a great job at making sure that they're nice and cleansed, and we put the dechlorinator on to make sure that the plants don't die off the bleach. So we're just preparing the plants now for the tank. Joe's just preparing them by snipping off any runners that are growing off these types of plants that he's showing us now. And this is a way to make sure that we can train the growth of each of these plants, as when you plant them in and they're sending out runners like this, then it can end up giving a different look to the tank than we're wanting. We've now prepared the plants, they're all ready, and it is now time for us to start planting this tank. The first plant we opted for is a popular one amongst aquascapers. It's the Monte Carlo. It's a great foreground carpeting plant. We then opted for a nice mid-ground plant being Japonica. We made sure to use a spray bottle throughout to lock in the plants but also keep them moisturised throughout the planting process. Next up, we used Helanthus Tellinum Red. So I was really fortunate to have Joe plant this tank, as he was giving me an insight to aquascaping as a whole. He was talking about how Takashi Amano recommends that if you have 3 plants on one side, then you want at least 1 on the other side to balance it out. Here he was demonstrating how the growth of the plants that we're putting in that area is going to look nice and won't interrupt the look of the taller plants that we're putting behind the wood and in the background. Here we used Echinodorus tenalis. This next plant is one that I've never seen before, and I'm probably going to butcher the name, but it's called Shishmatoglotus. We then opted for the next plant being Echinodorus renni, one of my favourite plants in the hobby. This plant's definitely a staple for most hobbyists. It's the Vallisneria gigantea, a great fast-growing background plant. To fill out the gap in between the background and midground, we used the Amazon sword, definitely a staple plant. In this area of the tank here, we opted for the Bulbitis, a really nice epiphyte plant. If you don't know, epiphyte plants are plants that you don't plant in substrate. We then continued the theme of planting epiphytes around the tank in the nooks and crannies of the wood and rocks using Anubias bonsai. To finish off the background, we opted for Vallisneria nana. To add some final touches to this tank, we added the Bucephalandra mini red. Right, as you can see, the tank is now fully planted, ready for water. So we're going to fill this up with water now. Whilst we were filling up the tank, I decided to get all the electricals sorted out, get them ready and prepared for when the tank was filled with water. Right, and here we are with the finished result. This is absolutely stunning and I can't wait for it to grow in, honestly. I couldn't have done it without Joe. Of course, he planted this tank today, so make sure to check out his Instagram in the description below, as he is a pro aquascaper. So yeah, honestly, I'm really made up with this and can't wait to add fish in the next video in part 3. So make sure to check out part 3 when it's out. Click the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you like the look of this scape. Until next time, thanks for watching. See you later. Peace. Hi everyone, it's Adam7 Fish Tanks, and in today's video, we're finally going to be stocking this tank with some fish, so let's get into this. So, as you can see, the tank's a little tannin stained at the moment. It's got a little bit of algae too, and a little bit of detritus gathering around on the bottom, but that's completely fine and normal with a brand new scape. And over the past few weeks, I've been deciding on what fish I should be stocking this tank with, and they are now available in the shop, so we're going to collect them today, so let's crack on with that. Right, so we're now floating the fish for half an hour. Once we do that, we're going to cut the top of the bag open, fill it up with a bit of tank water, and then we'll release them into the tank. So let's cut forward to that now. It's now time to release the fish, and I have no issue with mixing the tank water with the bag water, as the fish have been completely fine in our shop and we've quarantined them. They've been treated and well fed and the water's pristine, so I'm going to be mixing them in now. First up is going to be the Salween rock catfish. Find it quite cool how they've just gathered up here in a little trio, the three musketeers all lined up. Next up is going to be our 10 blue emperor tetra, so let's release them into the tank now. Easy does it. And there you go. Wow, it's great to see these little guys schooling around. We then transferred over our algae eater, also known as the zebra otto cinclus. And here we are, finally, the centerpiece fish, the Apistogramma benchi. And here we are with the finished result. I'm so happy with the stocking choices I've made, to be honest. I went with the blue emperor tetra as the schooling fish, a fish that I've never kept before. The zebra otto as the algae eater. I transferred him over from the nano tank that we broke down. The bottom feeder being the Salween rock catfish, as they really perked my interest, as they're quite goofy and they like wedging themselves between rocks and wood and hiding. And finally, the centerpiece fish, the Apistogramma benchi. The reason I chose the fish is, of course, all of them bar the zebra otto, a fish that I've never kept before, so I wanted to try something new. But also, they were all fish that I felt that suited the scape correctly. Having that centerpiece fish with the Apisto, like I have in my other tank back home, the 90 litre, I think it's essential to have that main fish to catch your eye and then have the others fit in with the scenery of the tank. Thank you so much everyone for tuning into these build series episodes that I've had, part 1, 2 and now finally 3. And I'm so excited to show you updates on what this tank looks like in the next few months and when the fish grow up too. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. I'll see you later. Peace.